what's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fella, coming to you from Hall Pass Media in Newport Beach. This is Missin Curfew. In the booth, we got Kyle Conway and Max Pickup. And coming to us from Salt Lake City, the official home of the Utah Hockey Club, our boy, Jay Swish. What's up, fella?
Salt City, Utah, Obes. We're here. We landed yesterday. Buzzing around the rink, there's a lot of excitement. I was over there today earlier. Bruce Bettman was on stage kind of doing a little bit of panel work in terms of just, massaging it, putting a little bit more makeup on this thing, just creating the excitement. And then Ryan Smith and his lovely wife got up there and kind of just, thanked the good people of Utah for putting this whole thing together, making it come to life. The NHL in Utah. Obi, I wasn't sure how it was going to look, and we'll see later tonight when we get this game going for the inaugural game. But man, you forget how big of a production the NHL is and how big of a deal it is that there's a new NHL franchise in a new city. Man, it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not sure a ton about the entire city as a whole. We'll see a little bit on that, fella.
Yeah.
But right now, the buzz around the city is real, and that arena, really nice.
There's the old Delta Center nice. I just remember the old school Delta Center from The Last Dance with MJ in it. Like that old school Delta Center where those old school Utah Jazz fans, they were just savages. Like I remember MJ's kids were like, our dad wouldn't let us go to the games in Utah because they were just savage fans.
Yeah, I mean, I think Smitty alluded to, he was talking a little bit today. I was over there just doing the dirty work, doing my pre-scout, and he was talking about, obviously, they have the loudest fans in the NBA, and I think that checks out. Every team always thinks they have the loudest fans, but I do think that Utah, they are known for that, and if they can bring that and instill it into the hockey community and the culture around the team, yeah, man, I think it's going to be good. And tonight's going to be crazy, and one thing I think is going to happen tonight, we're recording here before the game, but don't you think a guy like Liam Spicy Tuna O'Brien, friend of the show, I mean, he's throwing within the first 10 minutes if a guy like Patty Maroon will get a go. No,
what is the fucking line on DraftKings for Maroon O'Brien fight? Because that's 100% going to happen. I mean, big Spicy Tuna is going to go right at him for sure. And you got to think the big rig on a new team there to protect Bedard. He's going to have his hair slicked back and warm up. You know that. You know the big rig's going to have the flow going, and so will Spicy Tuna. And by the way, if you're those two guys, listen, that's a very even fight. Probably, knock on wood, you never want to see anyone get hurt. Either guy probably doesn't have to worry about getting knocked out. That's just a good fight for both of them. Start off the season. If you're Spicy Tuna for the hockey club, get the fucking building going. And for Patty Maroon, set the tone and say, hey, listen, this is how it's going to be for the Blackhawks this year. No one's going to fuck around with us.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, they got a little muscle there, too, with Nick Foligno and their captain. But I think you're right, Obes. I think Patty Maroon coming into a new team, that is his role, being the sheriff on his side. Obviously, Spicy Tuna is that for the Utah Hockey Club. But talk about a battle of the flow. I mean, those two guys, that's like two biker gangs meeting in the middle of the ice. I just hope it happens on a good part of the ice where all the fans can see it, because there are some seats at the Delta Center that you can't really see the ice. Now, they're going to redo that, but I think it's 12,000 seats are non-obstructed, and then there's 3 or 4 more thousand that are obstructed. So maybe those are giveaway seats, but it's going to be a packed house tonight. And if it's fight night at the Delta Center, man, I'm going to be on my feet, Obes. I'm going to be fired up.
Yeah, I'm just happy for the boys on the hockey club, like your bro. By the way, I saw the Schmaltzy jersey there. Did you purchase that in the gift shop, or are you gonna get a free one from your bro?
Yeah, well, I'm either gonna make my mom buy it or I was gonna get one. But yeah, I'm for sure rocking that. I don't know tonight because I got a juicy little fit. I got some suit pants I'm gonna wear. I got a nice top up top with a cardigan. So maybe I'll save that for post game. When I throw that thing on backwards and just rock Schmaltz 8. Hopefully he has a tuck tonight, maybe, and we can kind of go that way because. Over here, Obes, I hate to toot my own horn, but it is, not that it's a significant birthday, but it is 31 times, and any excuse to get drunk on a Tuesday, I'm going to floor it.
Yeah, happy birthday, brother. I saw it on social media today, and I saw one of your friends or somebody got you Bruce Buffer to do a cameo happy birthday to you, which I love Bruce Buffer, bro. I love him.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. And shout out to Jake Schmaltz, my cousin. He plays at North Dakota, so he's still in college, a senior there. But yeah, it was cool. It was
fighting.
And the one message that, because you can kind of obviously make your own message in a cameo, the one cool thing was, I always say is, keep your chin tucked and buff. Bruce Buffer told me to keep my chin tucked, so I love that.
Yeah, he's the man. I mean, if you ever go to a UFC live event, when you're in attendance, you got to watch Bruce Buffer in between fights. He's stretching, he's shadow boxing. I mean, this guy he's irreplaceable for the UFC. I mean, they have some other guys do it when it's at the Apex or if it's a fight night, and it's no disrespect to the guys that fill in, but Bruce Buffer, in my opinion, is irreplaceable for the UFC. Like, whenever he does decide to hang up his 6 suits and that microphone, that will be a sad day. Same with when Dana White leaves. You think UFC, you think Dana White, Joe Rogan, Bruce Buffer. It's a trifecta, man.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, his suit game rivals that on Cherry, a.k.a. Grapes. And there's one thing, Obi, that I've always looked online, and I've kind of just done my own, due diligence or research on, is he has a whole routine leading up to those vocals and getting them warm. He's in a steam room. He's doing hot yoga. He's going in for a workout. Like, it's a whole thing. He's drinking hot tea with honey. Like, Buffer, I mean, he takes care of his moneymaker, and obviously that he is. He's a true pro, so it's pretty cool, like, how good and, just how electric that voice is.
He's a couple Sudafeds, too, Red Bull Sudafeds. He's fucking... there's something else going into that bottom body, but he is fired up. And, buddy, he's legit tough, too. He practices mixed martial arts. Like, I don't think he's a pushover, too. Like, he's always in the gym, always working on his shit. So if you wanted to fuck around with Buffer too, I think he could handle himself.
Yeah, and I think he has a nice gal too with him now, a younger lady. Buffer's just, he just puts it all together, Obi. Just a true professional in every sense of the word.
He's a National Leaguer 100%. And listen, as we wrap up Utah, enjoy the game there tonight. I bet him minus 168 on DraftKings. I took him. I like Clayton Keller anytime goal. I like Nick Schmaltz also anytime goal. Lawson Krause, I think, is going to get a point tonight. Unfortunately, this will come out tomorrow, so none of the boys are going to hear this, but listen, I'm excited for these kids. Come out tonight. I know the seating isn't perfect. I know there's some seats you can't see, but it's a National League-sized building with a sold-out crowd. These kids deserve it. They've been playing the mullet, what do you call it, the iconic mullet. I'm excited for them to come out and feel the buzz tonight. So it's going to be electric. Have a good time, buddy, and get a couple old fashions in you.
Yeah, it's a one rock kind of night here in Utah. And the crazy thing is you can't order a double, Obi.
I know.
And you have to order food with your drinks if you're at a restaurant. So it's not perfect, but there are ways around it to get drunk. Lastly, on the Utah Hockey Club, Obi, they named Lawson Krause the associate captain. So that's like the assistant to the regional manager in terms of you're not the captain, you're not an assistant captain. You're kind of like the equivalent of associate head coach. I thought that was kind of weird. Have you ever seen that before? It's just like, I think you're kind of just complicating it at that point a little bit. Though.
Yeah, I love Lawson Krause. I would take him on my team any day of the week. Maybe this is just their way of rewarding him. Obviously They made Kel's captain. We're going to touch on that and get this guy a blue light. But yeah, I'm with you. Less is more. You're in a good spot. There's lots of good buzz, but I love Lawson Krause. And I will say this about Salt Lake City. You texted me about, it's just a good American League city, which it was back in the day. But the first time I went out in Salt Lake City, I remember we were at this club, and first of all, they were just only giving out 1 ounce shots. And I always wanted to, have a big pull of it. And then they took my bottle and locked it up in a cage. I'm like, whoa. Where are you going with that? And why are you locking that up? She's like, you can't pour your own drinks. I have to pour them and I'll be back in a little bit. I'm like, this is not going to work. Last call is 1 p.m. It's 12:15. I need to leave this place, the drunkest guy in the state of Utah. So why don't you just leave the key with us, eh? Leave the key here.
Yeah, you're talking to the kid from Port Hope who drinks Crown out of the bottle.
Fuck.
This 1 ounce shit, that ain't going to work.
No.
311. This is not TSA. I need that whole thing, and I need at least a 4 or 5 gulper here.
Exactly. And the thing about the state of Utah, which I love Park City too, I'm sure over the course of the year you'll make it up to Park City. But if you order alcohol in Utah, you got to order food as well. So it's like if you go into a restaurant, you have to order some kind of food to get a drink. So me and Loops were in Park City a couple years ago, and everywhere we're never like, just give us some chicken wings and a fucking old-fashioned, please. So that's all. We just kept ordering chicken wings everywhere. We weren't even hungry. We were just thirsty.
Yeah, I know. And one of my buddies that played the easy come, hard to leave, the ECHL here for the Grizzlies, so they'd always, at the end of the night, Obi, they'd have like 30 bags of chips just stacked up because you'd always have to order food. So that obviously on a co-salary, you can't afford the chicken wings even. You just got to get the Doritos, the Funyuns, and at the end of the night, all the boys would take, whatever they had home and a couple bags of chips as well.
The old Funyuns. Hey, boys, grab me a bag of the Funyuns there and I'll have a 12-pack of Blue Light, please. Thanks, boys. Thanks for coming. But Jay Swiss, my man, enjoy that game tonight. I think the hockey club gets off to a good start while betting on it, so I hope they do. Listen, start of the NHL season, fella. We got nothing but hockey to the middle of June. This is going to be unbelievable. But every year, we lose more and more guys that don't wear a visor. So here's the list, my man. Here is the only National Leaguers left playing that don't have a visor. This Jay Swish, this crushes me a bit, bro. This really, like, I don't want to cry on camera, but I'm crying on the inside. First of all, my boy Ryan, the Fact Daddy O'Reilly, Ryan Reeves, Zach Bogosian, Jamie Benn, and Matt Martin, who is still on a PTO. Come on, Lou. Give the guy a one-year deal. He deserves it. First of all, you had names for all these guys, didn't you? Do you have them handy of the names of these guys that you came up with?
Well, I had for the fighters in them.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I had Matty, Over the Top, Rempe,
yeah,
Shin Music, Martin. I had a few of these guys, but yeah, Obi. I mean, we lose another guy, Milan Lucic, obviously not in the league this year. But man, that no visor crew, it's just such a select bunch. You had a few guys in the years past that have thrown the visor on. One name that kind of comes to mind is Erica Branson in Columbus. He used to go no visor for a few years. Obviously, we lost a guy like Zach Cassian. Shout out to Cass a couple of years ago too. But every year, the number just dwindles, Obi. And you were one of those guys. And that's why, I mean, you played the game hard. You fought. I respect the hell out of your game. But the one thing that I just thought was so nails, even watching clips of you or just seeing it when Princey posted, is you went no visor.
Oh,
and that is something, honestly, I wasn't a tough guy, never fought, bro, but if I was one of those guys that could have rocked no visor, I would have, because you saw how much tilt I had on that visor.
No, you had it tilted
at that
up.
time, you couldn't. You had to be grandfathered in.
Yeah, and listen, when it happened, I was in the league when they voted on it, and I actually voted to grandfather it in. And not that my one vote would have changed, but looking back, I wish I would have just voted no. I do think the mandatory visors have changed the game. Some may say for better. I don't think so. I think if, these kids were not all out there wearing visors and flying around, with their head down here and their visor down. However, I'm sure they would still be wearing them because, right, why take it off if you've worn it in junior? And like you said, Jay Swish, when I was playing coming up, right or wrong, if you took your visor off, it meant you were kind of tougher, right? Like if you wore a visor out there, back in my era, where you're like, oh, you're fucking pussy. Take the window off, buddy. You're a tough guy. Take the window off. And I'm not saying that was right or wrong. That's just how it was. And for me, I still have that mentality of it was just a different game back then with no visors. And it's sad. But the one good thing about it, bro, is I think my boy Ryan, the Fact Daddy O'Reilly, is going to be the last guy. He's going to be the Craig McTavish of the no visor, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, he's a point a game last year. Looking at this list, I think he's going to outlast all those guys that we just mentioned. And yeah, man, he's going to be the Mac T. Remember Mac T just cruising around the late 90s, even early 2000s with no fucking bucket on? How psychotic do you have to be? That to me is crazy.
Crazy.
I get the no window. Like, yeah, take the welding shield off, but no bucket? That is absurd.
Yeah, I guess he just played a charity game. They had an alumni game, Oilers versus Canucks, and Mac T was out there, obviously no bucket, buzzing around. So he still loves it. Still loves it, no bucket. It's crazy to think of playing in the NHL in any era without a helmet. Like, I look back and I'm like, wow, I'm lucky, playing whatever 9-10 years without a visor that I, didn't get seriously hurt. But you look back at not playing with a helmet. I mean, just getting hit with a puck, right? You know how it is, Swish. You're net front D, weak side D, you're just boxing out, and all of a sudden the puck just fucking comes off the crossbar, ding. You're just like, oh, fuck, that one stings.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask you, your early days in Tampa, you were rocking the Mission bucket. Were they paying you at least a decent salary? Because, fella, that's not style.
No.
Were they paying you at least? Were they cutting you a check?
No, I made no money. I never started getting paid to wear my gear until I went to Vancouver. I wore Mission with Anaheim and Tampa. That's when Mission, at least I thought, was kind of cool back then. It was more of the tough guy, like the rugged defense was wearing. A lot of tough guys were wearing it. And then I went to Vancouver, and the Bauer guy came up to me and said, hey, we'll give you $10,000 and $10,000 in Lululemon. I'm like, done.
Yep.
And I'm not going to lie to you. I used that Lululemon for a lot of sprinkling the infield with just gifts around the city, eh? Hey?
Yeah, I see crop top.
Here you go.
Pants.
Here you go. You want to go to Lulu? Hey, grab yourself a pair of yoga pants. There you go. Put it on the card. So that Lululemon money, that $10,000, it went quick, fella.
Yeah. You listen, sharing is caring, especially when you got the bullpen you can supply, maybe, a set, if you will, in terms of the top and the bottom. You get the yoga pants, you get the crop top, and hey, now she likes you a little bit more, Opie. So that's smart by you. It's a veteran play. Yeah, that Mission gear was hilarious, but you go back to that Nike Bauer stuff that you rocked in Vancouver was a juicy look. I loved when that old school Nike Bauer, that was just a clean look.
That was clean. And it was, whatever I did early in my career, I had Easton gloves and Easton stick with the Mission bucket. Tried the Mission gloves. They were fucking god awful. I couldn't use them. And then when I went to Vancouver, I made the switch, and I kind of promised myself throughout my career that you had to match, right? Yeah, if you were Bauer, it was Bauer helmet, Bauer glove, Bauer sticks, Bauer shell, and I love Bauer wheels. But it's funny. I don't know how it works anymore, but there's certain, like Anaheim, it's a C market. Tampa back then was a C market. Nashville was a C market. A B market was like Detroit, Dallas. I think Chicago was a B. And then you had your A markets of all the Canadian cities, New York, LA, and that's where you could at least negotiate something to be like, hey, listen, I'll give you, like I said, 10,000 cash, 10,000 Lululemon. I was like, this is unbelievable. You're going to give me $10,000 Canadian to wear fucking Bauer? I'm in, brother. This is unreal.
Yeah, and I would always trip the guys, especially like when Warrior just started making protective equipment and they were rocking the Warrior helmets. Oh, God, those things were so ugly. And I'd be like, Jesus. I'd give them the old Al Shervick from Caddyshack line, like, fuck, you get a free bowl. So get that stuff. Like, Jesus. How much are they paying you? They better be $25,000 because I don't know if I'm sacrificing that much style to wear that bucket. Like, ooh, that's an absolute space bucket, fella.
Yeah, it was terrible. I remember Getzy. Getzy was a Warrior guy. Warrior stick, Warrior gloves, and he threw the bucket on. And I don't know if I was still playing against him in the league or if I was just watching him then. I'm like, fella, I text him. I go, hey, you have too much money to be wearing that thing, okay? I don't care. Unless they're paying you $1 million a year to wear that fucking thing, and I don't think they are playing in Anaheim, take that off. And he's like, I'm just giving it a try, for concussions. And I'm like, Getzy, don't you lie to me. We go back to fucking rookie camps, buddy. I know you're like, come on, take that baby off. Because it was, and Getzy always had sick style. I was like, sure enough, a couple weeks later, took it off. But you talk about visors. Getzy took one fucking right between the eyes one year. Bad. He still got the scar. Like, oh, it's such a bad scar. He put one on. He tried to wear it, and then finally took it off just because you can't see as well. And we talk about, being a tough guy, and it had to do with that too. Like, if you didn't wear a visor back in the day, especially if you're fighting, if you were a guy that chucked him and you wore a visor, it was just like, dude, you're kind of breaking the unwritten rule, and you're just kind of being a pussy. Like, take that window off if you want to fight. But I saw better too. Like, when I went back down to the jungle for the first time, I remember coming into Abbotsford, and I had to wear a CCM helmet. The trainer lied to me. He's like, you can't wear Bauer. But I found out later that if there was NHL exceptions. So now I go from a nice Bauer helmet to this awful CCM bucket at the time. Their helmets have gotten way better. And there's a visor on there. And I'm like, hey, can't remember the trainer's name. Good guy. I'm like, fella, take that fucking visor off. I don't wear a visor. He's like, oh, it's mandatory down here. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you have to wear it. First shift of the first period, I must have got high stuck 4 fucking times. I'm like, wow, thank God I got this visor on. These young kids were just like, fuck. I'm like, keep your fucking stick down, bud.
You got a guy forechecking you like he's fencing. It's like, put that stick on the ice. Jesus Christ.
Easy.
You're going to poke me. Get the fire poker out.
I go, you high stick me again, I'm going to cross-check you in the neck. I don't care. I'm trying to get suspended. I don't want to play down here anymore, right? I'm not paying escrow anymore. I'll gladly take a 2-gamer across your fucking neck. Keep your stick down, would you?
Yeah, I actually want to get suspended for the weekend when you guys go on the road, so I can go back to my place in Cowtown and hit up Cowboys every night.
Hey, shout out to Stu Bickle. Bick hit me up.
Stu Bickle.
Yeah,
oh
so hey, I played with Bick.
I skated with that guy in the summer.
Yeah, I played with Bix in San Diego, and he brought up a good story. We were playing in Grand Rapids, and we were supposed to head back the next morning back to San Diego, and we had 2 days off. And I had a friend of mine coming down from LA that I was really excited about. 2 days off, really excited about. And some stuff had happened throughout the year that I was already in the doghouse with Bob Murray, and I had a guarantee in my contract. Remember those guarantees, right?
Yeah, I had a certain amount of games.
I could shit in a box and slap a guarantee on it, be a guaranteed piece of shit. So I had this guarantee, and I'll never forget the old fucking GM with San Diego, Fergie. I can see him looking after the game in Grand Rapids, and I'm like, no fucking way, Bix. And he's like, Obi. I'm like, yeah, what's up, Fergie? He's like, you're going up. You're gonna. There's a town car waiting for you. You're gonna go from here to Grand Rapids to Detroit. It's like a 4-hour drive in a town car, and you're probably not playing tomorrow, but we just need an extra body. So now I went from flying home the next day to having 2 days off with somebody that I was really excited to see to a 4-hour drive to Detroit. I get to the Westin Cadillac. I'm like, O'Brien, I'm with the Ducks. No room. Have to get my own Amex out, pay for my own room that they never reimbursed me. The next day I go to the rink, they fucking absolutely rinse me at Joe Louis Arena. I take warm-up, don't play, fly back to Anaheim, get off the plane. They're like, you're going back down to San Diego. I'm like, no fucking shit. Thanks, guys. Had to take an Uber from Anaheim to San Diego, and let's just say I got to see my friend, but not as much as I wanted to, fella. I was fucking chapped.
Oh, that's an absolute burger, especially to a good veteran.
Oh,
keep me here. Just call one of the young guys up and give him $5,000.
Yeah, so I went in
with the fucking guarantee.
I actually went into Dally's office after Fergie was like, I'm like, Dally, I'm not going. I'm like, what? can I file something through the NHLPA? Like, I'm not going. He's like, Obi, I'm telling you, buddy, I would not recommend that you do that. Like, I know you're upset and we're supposed to have 2 days off, but you have to go. I'm like, I'm not going. Like, I'm not fucking going. We're done. We were just on a road trip in the jungle for like 10 days too. So, when you're at the end of a trip and just want to get home. Like, I just wanted to get home and have my 2 days off and, work the hips out a little bit. And Dally's like, Obes, I'm telling you, don't do it. So I called my agent. My agent's like, listen, you got to guarantee you have to go. And I forgot about that story till Stu Bickle, fucking old Bixie boy. I love him. I was chapped, fella.
Obi, you're sitting at the Bob, that place in Grand Rapids, whatever that, like, night.
Yeah, the Bob.
You're firing up the NHLPA, trying to get out of the situation.
I was trying
to go eat a shit sandwich. Oh, man, it felt time.
The only thing that was good about it is I got to fly back on the bird with Getsy and Pears and the big rig. And that was the only, but I mean, it wasn't that good of a, I wasn't that excited to see those boys on the plane. But yeah, so to Bob Murray out there, touche, motherfucker. You got me there. You ruined my fucking day off. And, it is what it is, eh? But that's the other stuff in the league they don't see. So, speaking of the finer things in the league, Jay Swish, Amazon Prime Faceoff's out. I've watched it over the last week or whatever. Listen, it's shot extremely well. Amazon did an unbelievable job of the way they shot it. I don't know. Maybe I'm an old crusty fucking guy, but listen, for me, I didn't love it. I didn't love that there's not as much. I wanted more raw, behind the scenes stuff of the dressing room, the plane, team meals, in between periods, on the bench, fuck you matches between. Like, I wanted to see some raw emotion in this. There's a little bit of that, and as it goes on, and it gets into the playoffs, and it gets into the Oilers and the Panthers, it gets a lot better. Jackie Redmond did an unbelievable job. Biz and PK killed it. I just didn't want to see interviews. I didn't want to see guys scripted. Like, it was a lot of scripted stuff, Jay Swish. And to me, Amazon, the way you shot it, like I said, it's nationally beyond National League. But for me, Jay Swish, I didn't love it. I wanted more raw footage of behind the scenes of these guys in the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Obi, I wanted to ask you because I have not got the chance to watch it yet in terms of actually doing my own pre-scout on it and developing opinion. But I wanted to ask you, how does it compare to back in the day with the old HBO 24/7s with that Lee Schreiber guy doing the old documentary series? He's kind of doing the unbelievable job at narrating it. Like, how does it compare to that? Because those old school 24/7s, they always had like funny little bits with guys doing random stuff on off days, shit going on in the locker room, ports freaking out. Like, to me, as an old school guy, those 24/7 HBO series were so good. So I wanted to ask you, is it like that, or is it more player-based, or is it team-based, or is there a mix in there? Talk to me on that, folks.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And the HBO 24/7s are way better. And no, like, listen, I think Amazon shot the shit out of it. It looks unbelievable. It's crispy. I mean, the behind the scenes stuff they have, it looks unbelievable. They go in the cars with the boys. They go, to Connor McDavid's house and Chucky's house, and all that stuff's cool. I love seeing that stuff too. And you try to get to know the player, but when they know there's a camera in front of them and they're doing an interview, scripted interview, it's just like, come on, man, this isn't giving me the behind the scenes of what this is really like. And maybe you can't do it. Maybe, there's not a way to do it, but I would rather, maybe this is just a step of the first one, but follow a team, like you said, and not for the whole season, but the second half of the season, maybe follow a team, or start a playoffs, maybe follow a team that's supposed to go to the finals or something like that. To me, I just think there's more out there, Jay Swish. I thought it was entertaining. I thought they shot the shit out of it, but for me, I wanted more raw, behind-the-scenes stuff. I want to see the boys in the shower. Hey, swinging the cock straw. Let's get the boy. Hey, good game, boys. Good game, boys.
The old Whirlyburg. Remember back in the day, too, when there was a Road to the Winter Classic, and it was we were doing the coverage with the Leafs, and just even those little nuggets of Bozy and Phil as roommates, and Phil saying, yeah, like, we throw in a couple shakers here, eh? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just that little, like, tidbits and, like, sneak peeks of real uncut. It doesn't even need to be the fucking, the F words, the cut words. It's just like that raw, like, okay, this is what this guy does. He literally just goes home, sits on the couch, and if he wants to fire up a couple broads, they might have a party, and that'll be after the game, and that's it. It's like, that is how you, like, see the personalities of these guys versus, like you said, when it's just like, okay, action, it's like, oh, now the guy's going to get stiff. Now he's 4 buttons up. Yeah,
exactly. And for me, it was more like, I wanted to see the guys, what they do before the game, what they do after the game, the guys that aren't playing, hanging out in the lounge, watching the game, or getting their bag skates in, or like, I just wanted to see more of the I guess you could say finer things, or the not so finer things of the NHL. Like, I wanted more raw stuff, Jay Swish, and like I said, it's the first time Amazon's done it. I think, like I said, it was shot great. There's good parts, but to me, less interviews, less like, the producer asking, Connor McDavid a question. Like, fuck, McDavid does enough interviews. Let's just get these guys. Like, what does Connor McDavid do after a game? It shows a little bit of what he does at his house. I mean, his house in Edmonton is, obviously a banger. And downstairs, or I'm assuming it's his basement, he has a full gym, decked out to Connor McDavid. He stretches a lot. He has, his own physiotherapy guy. Like, all that stuff was cool. I just wanted more of that, my man. I wanted more raw footage of these guys in the fight, what they do to prepare, what they do after, what they do in the lounge, hanging out, on the plane, on the bus, stuff like that is what I was looking for.
Yeah, we got to pull in a pond at McDavid's house. A pond would be good for you.
Yeah.
Remember that, too? I always just go back to just that, even like the Rangers back in the day when they had that team meal, and I forget, it was like not a pigeon, but a rookie ended up losing the credit card game, and he had to soak the bill of whatever it was. And I think ended up Hank Lundqvist or one of the veterans stepped in and got it. But it's like, those are the moments I want to see. Like a guy losing the credit card game and he's sweating over $5K, and it's like, oh, fuck, like, how you feeling right now? It's, well, I haven't got paid, and I'm making $62K in Hartford right now, so hopefully I'm up for a little bit longer. It's just like those moments, like you said, Obes, I just think, and I'll have to tune into it myself, but I think that's what the HBO Road to the Winter Classic just did so well.
And listen, it's worth watching. I know I've said this a few times. I thought Amazon did a hell of a job shooting it. It looks good. It looks crispy. There are some really good parts. It gets better as it goes on. But yeah, to me, it's our podcast, so I can say whatever I want. I just wanted more raw emotion. But listen, anytime you can get more eyeballs, and maybe it's for these people that don't know a lot about hockey, maybe that's how they're spinning it, to explain everything, because basically they explain everything throughout it. Redmond and Biz and PK, they explain what's going on. It's like, but maybe that's for the fans that don't watch, right? I never looked at it from that perspective. So I would say watch it, Jay Swish, and then we'll get your 2 cents on it, buddy. But that's my opinion. Florida Panthers rings last night. My God, bro. Are those just sick? Or imagine wearing that out to a little, bar or club or restaurant in Fort Lauderdale, and, ordering your old fashioned with one rock, and just, having that just like, hey, how you doing? Well, hey, how you doing? It's gotta be there.
Yeah, I mean, that's rock on rock, you call that. That's like Dwayne Johnson on Dwayne Johnson. Rock on rock combo. Obi, how much do you think that ring is MSRP in at? Like, how much do they put into that ring? Is that a $50,000 ring? Is it more? Because that thing looked expensive. And that gold coming off that Tiger, or the Panther, sorry. Oh man, that looks so good. It's just like when Chucky was holding it up and he was just getting interviewed by like 6 or 7 microphones right in his face. He's like, I've never seen a piece of jewelry like this before. It's like, even through just the screen on my phone, I could tell how sick that thing was.
Yeah, as Travis Green and Robbie Niedermeyer told me my rookie year, Obes, if you got to ask, it means you can't afford it, right? So I just know by every guy's face that they opened, when they opened that box, like the Chucky's face, Barkey's face, Aki's face, when they all opened it, they were just like completely blown away. And those are 3 guys that are all making, between $8 and $11 million or something like that. So they do have nice things. But to see them open that up like that, and they were like, to me, it gave me like, once again, I was like, fuck, it would have been unreal to win. I was so jealous, to be honest with you. But at the same time, it gave me goosebumps seeing these guys realize that is their ring for the rest of their life.
So if you're a single guy, hypothetically, OB, and it's during the season or it's after the season, like, when is an acceptable night to wear that thing out to the bar? Is it only for events?
Oh, that's a great question.
Or when the boys get together, or could you wear that thing on a random Saturday night? Maybe it's a get together with the fellas, or it's a big night out, or is that something you're like, oh, I don't even want to risk this because it's way too nice?
No, that's a great question. And maybe this is why I didn't win one, because I was always thinking about what I was going to do with my Stanley Cup ring before I actually won the fucking Stanley Cup. I would have wore that baby everywhere. I mean, maybe not out on a Saturday night where I got Sunday off and I know I'm going to get fucking absolutely pinned because I don't want to lose it. But anytime I was going to a dinner, a function, I would have wore it to the game too. Saturday night home game, fuck, I'm rolling it with that baby on Hockey Night in Canada. How you doing? How are you? Yeah, we won her last year. We're gonna win her again this year. I would have wore it everywhere. Now, a lot of guys that have won it, it's the opposite. I think they just keep it really safe. They only wear it to certain functions. But to me, Jay Swish, I don't know. It's like buying a watch. I'm going to wear the fucking thing. If I ever would have won that thing, I would have been wearing it out everywhere, and especially to like a nice club in Miami or LA, New York. Yeah. I mean, that's just a talking piece right there, right? You just give her one of those. Hey, come on over. What do you want? Vodka? Come on over. Here you go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just think it's so cool to even seeing former coaches or players. And I've seen it, been around over the years at different weddings or whatnot. And even just wearing that championship Stanley Cup ring, even at a wedding, it's so good. You're sitting at table 14 and you got a whiskey and you're about to get plated your food. You're just kind of hanging out, like sitting back. You got, maybe one leg over the other, and that ring you could see from a mile away.
I wonder if, if you look about the Ducks when they won in 07, I've seen Getsy's Stanley Cup ring. I remember when they got him in 07, they wwere sick. If you compared Getzlaf's Stanley Cup ring to Matty Tkachuk's, it's NHL to easy come, hard to leave league. I guess where I'm going like this, should every, 15 years, the team has to get them new ones, bigger ones that are better? Can NHL teams afford that, or are they just easy obes? These rings cost God for, but I'm just saying every 15 years you might want to upgrade a little bigger one, right? Because I'm sure if you saw Getsy's, it's compared to that one, it's not very big.
No, I mean, it's kind of like if you get engaged to your wife and you got no money at the time, and every 15 years, maybe your salary goes up, you start getting her a bigger rock. By the time, she's 50 years old, she's got a 4 or 5 carat rock versus when she came in on an entry-level contract when you got engaged to her at 22 years old. That thing, you could barely see that thing with a microscope. So I think you're onto something there, Obi. I kind of like the idea. Now, I don't think owners are going to be forking over that kind of dough, but I do like what you're onto because that's a hell of an idea.
Well, it says here online that they average around $25,000 a ring, and the teams like the Lightning, it says, spent more than $1 million in rings for everybody.
But every 15 years, the team could afford $1 million to get the boys new rings. I mean, they won you a Stanley Cup. Every 15 years, just get them a new one. That's what you're only gonna have to do it, twice probably, right? Maybe 3 times depending on how long the boys hang on for, right? You do it twice, you get them, a couple of new rings. I'm just saying because I'm sure when you win a Stanley Cup, it doesn't matter. But you just see you see Tom Brady. When Tom Brady puts his, what has he got, 7?
Yeah.
So when he has his 7 on, you can see the difference, right? Yeah, it's just to me, I'm I would be a little bit man, I want a new ring. Look at this thing. This thing's 20 years old. I want a new one.
Yeah, in terms of franchise value and just the overall brand price, when you win a team as Stanley Cup, the price of the team goes up more than $1 million. Exactly. You know what I mean? So they could definitely afford it, and especially year after year, it increases. Yeah, dust off the Amex.
Come
boys,
on,
take out
get
the black.
The boys every 15 years.
Get the boys fitted.
Let's make it every 20 years. Every 20 years, get the boys a new Stanley Cup ring. So, anyways, to Chucky and the boys, congratulations. Those babies are unbelievable. I was jealous, baby. I was jealous, but that was it. Season's on tonight. They have to move past it. We'll see how it unfolds. Jay Swish, quickly here, buddy, before we head into our first break. Some sad news back from Port Hope, Ontario. Dear friend of my dad's and my family, and to me, Dave Bemzo, suddenly passed away from a heart attack. Bemzo was an absolute beauty. My dad used to tell me stories about hanging out down by the beach, and if somebody was picking a fight, Bemzo was right there and tossing guys over cars, and guy was an absolute legend, but did a lot for baseball in Port Hope, Cobourg, Northumberland County. Anytime I had a little hitch in my swing, or I wasn't hitting the ball very well, I'd see Bemzo at the town park and say, "Hey, Bemzo, can I play a little hit off the tee with you, or toss a few up to me?" And he would always get me straightened out. So he made me a better baseball player. He made tons of people in the Port Hope, Cobourg, Northumberland area better baseball players. Bemzo was an absolute beauty. So to Gord Kelly, Chris Kelly, Kevin Kelly, my condolences go out to them. Those were his step boys. So Bemzo, you will be missed. You were a legend. Rest in peace, fella. We'll be right back. I'm Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Jay Swish, my man. We are getting on the road for a fella tour. Kansas City, heads up. The boys are coming in for a little watch party with Jagger and Draftkings Sunday, October 20th at KC Live. 3:25 p.m. local time, afternoon games. And the key matchup, baby, is a 5-0. And I have just been hammering them every week on DraftKings. It was a lock again on the Monday Nighter. The defending Super Bowl champs, back-to-back champs, against the 49ers, will be slinging Jagermeister, hanging out with the DraftKings people. We got the whole lineup coming in. We got Kyle Conway, Max Pickup coming in, A-Hall from Hall Pass Media, the Up Dog, and then more importantly, we got Jay Swish and the Heat Daddy, baby. So we're looking to create some content, sling some Jagger. If you're in the Kansas City area on Sunday, October 20th, come on by, fella.
If you're in the Kansas City area and you're around the Heat Daddy, hide your wife, number one. Because, oh, me God, he's coming in from Nashville. The boys are going to be coming in with so much steam, Willie beaming, steaming, Obi. So what exactly is it? We're going to be dishing out Jagger. We're going to be mingling with the good people of the Midwest, Kansas City. Those are my roots, just a little north in Wisconsin. Talk to me on that front, fella, because I'm fired up, first of all, to get a team dinner with you and all the fellas. But what are we going to be doing? You just provide just a good aura and vibe for the people, or what we got cooking, baby?
You just come in and be you, baby. You play your game. You see the ice, move your feet, make a good first pass. We land Saturday afternoon. We'll have a nice team dinner in Kansas City. We'll find the best steakhouse or wherever. We'll go there as a whole squad. Probably, poke our head out after dinner, see what's going on.
See what's up.
Got to get a lay of the land.
You got to.
Sunday morning, TBD if we're going to do a show or not. I think we're going to probably do a show. Me, you, Updog, and Heat Daddy. That's just 4 guys that probably want to snap it around. And then fucking dust off the Jagermeister, baby, and let's just start just slugging it. And honestly, we'll just see who can be the drunkest guy. I mean, I'm going to get a good head start on you, buddy, so let's go. Jagger, bring it on, baby.
I can't wait to enjoy some icy cold Jaeger. But Obi, when we're waking up Sunday morning, and I hope we rip that pod because it'll be hilarious just from shenanigans the night before and just the overall experience of the fellas together at the round table there. But we do have to you got to promise me one thing. We got to have a couple Irish coffees together because I know you like a good Irish fella.
I love a good Irish, buddy. Anytime I play golf in the morning, which doesn't happen a whole heck of a lot, only if I'm playing a member guest, but I have the old iced. I go iced with a little Bailey's and a shot of whiskey in there. Shot of Crown Royal, shot of Bailey's. Boom, let's get her going.
Yeah.
Looking forward to getting out on the road. This is the first of a few trips this year for the Missin Curfew crew. So, Jay Swish, happy to have you part of the squad, fella. Looking forward to that. It's the Missin Curfew. Dog of the week, fella. UFC 307 from Salt Lake City. You still might be able to see the bloodstains in the Delta Center from this fight. But Roundtree Jr. Fought Pereira. Listen, Roundtree, you're an absolute legend to me, buddy. You are my Missin Curfew dog of the week. He won the first 2 rounds. He was winning the fight, and then the 3rd round he took an absolute beating and went out on a shield. I know how tough these UFC guys are, Jay Swish, but when I see a guy like Roundtree Jr. do what he did and take those jabs and punches, his eyes cut, his nose is cut, he's fucking just in one, and goes out on a shield. Fella, good for you. You will be back. And Jay Swish, he's my Missin Curfew. Dog of the week, fella.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't catch that fight, Obi. A lot of the guys in the Utah Hockey Club were there, including my brother. But I saw the highlights, and I mean, he got hit so many times with the right, he was begging for the left. It just did not look perfect. If you could stand in there and just wear those, that deserves a dog of the week. My dog of the week, I'm snapping it over to Vegas, and that is NHL veteran forward, Stanley Cup winner, Tanner Pearson. 644 matches, got it done with a PTO, converted that into a 1-year deal at $775. Kelly McCrimmon and the Vegas Knights awarded him that deal, rewarded him, I should say. But, man, just sweating it out, waking up every day, even as a veteran on the PTO, just like hanging out our COB with no lifeline. You just got like that little floaty, and all of a sudden, you grind out 6 or 7 preseason games, and then you see the lighthouse, and you're like, thank fuck. My family's going to be secured. I got 1 more year at least in the greatest league in the world. So good on him for sticking it out. Those days, man, those are a lot of sleepless nights, even for a veteran, man. Even for a veteran, you're sitting there, you're like, can I still do it? Are they going to sign me? All these thoughts running through your head. So I just wanted to give him a couple clicks. Tanner Pearson is my dog of the week, fella.
Love it, buddy. I think he's going to help the Vegas Golden Knights. If he can find some of that scoring magic from back in his LA Kings days and his Vancouver Canucks days, I don't know if he ever got 30, but I know he got 20 for sure. Big body, Stanley Cup winner, veteran guy. I like the pickup for the Vegas Golden Knights. And you're absolutely right. We've talked about PTOs. And by the way, I think some of these GMs are listening to this podcast. They've heard me complain about PTOs. Fuck, everyone got signed. Pacioretty got signed. The other kid from Florida got signed in Toronto. Our boy Tyson Barrie got signed. Tanner Pearson got signed. So it's nice to see these GMs rewarding these guys because, like you said, if you've been in the league 10 years or whatever, it sucks going to camp not knowing what, as a veteran guy, if you got a deal or not. So good for these guys. Good on you. I love these veteran guys got rewarded.
Yeah, and 100%. You named a lot of the names. Steven Lorenz, obviously in Toronto, a couple other guys. But one guy that did not get rewarded was Tyler Johnson in Boston. Had to sweat it out all the way to the last day at camp. When your 23-man final roster has to be submitted, and he wasn't on that list. It's kind of like the scene out of Happy Gilmore, Obi, where he's like, Gilmore, I called your name, didn't I?
Oh,
No, you didn't.
Oh.
Well, better luck next year. I said it.
That's not very nice. That's not very nice.
Yeah, like, man, that's tough in all seriousness. You feel for a guy like Tyler Johnson. Obviously, has had a great career, a couple mugs, to boot, but it's just like, sweat it out to the final roster freeze before the season, and then it's going full Happy Gilmore tryout style. Yeah, you feel for a guy like that. So hopefully he can find something, maybe an injury somewhere, and even get in on a two-way or something and make his way that way. So I feel for that fella.
You got to be careful of two-ways because, you've been on two-way. It means you're going down, right? It means you're going down. You're not starting on it. If you sign that two-way, you're going down. Get your bus legs ready. But, I've been on the other side of it. I know what Tyler Johnson's going through. I went down to the very end in Florida, and then Dale Talon pulled me off the bus and said, hey, you want this two-way or you got to go home? So happy for the boys that got it done. Jay Swish, good on you with the Missin Curfew Dog of the Week. Draftkings bets, baby. NFL recap. Listen, I went 3-2. Seattle fucked me. Steelers laid an egg at home. I was with Loops on Sunday, and we were on the same page for everything. And then the Sunday nighter was starting. I go, I'm hammering the Steelers. And he's like, nah, I'm taking the Cowboys. I'm like, really? The Cowboys? They can't stop the run. They can't run the football, which they did both of those things in the game. And then he's like, Obes, are the Steelers even that fucking good? I'm like, good point, Loops. I don't know if they are. I don't think they are after watching them play Sunday. I went 3-2. I hung in there. Listen, a couple things. Shout out to one of Loops' boys, Killer, from back in Edmonton. He said, overs on field goals in prime time, bet them. And last night, Butker had 4. I believe he said the over-under is around 2.5 or 3 for those games. So, boys, over on props on DraftKings on field goal on the Sunday nighter, Monday nighter, and Thursday nighter. Primetime games, he said they always hit. So, hey, there's a little tidbit for you, fella.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I think especially this year more than ever, it just seems like they're just got the full foot wedge out and they're just painting them through the old goalposts there. But my week 4, Obi, or week 5, I should say, was Kansas City money line. I think we talked about that last week. Obviously, that was a lock going into the weekend. Bills money line, that did not hit. But one guy I feel for over the weekend in football, the National Football League, is a guy like Joey Burrow. I mean, the guy threw for 5 touchdown passes, and it came down to that bobbled snap, Obi, if you saw the Cincy Ravens game.
Did I ever?
I mean, and then, the next play after they missed that field goal, the Ravens, they marched down to like the 3-yard line, and then Tux hits the game-winning field goal like that. To go 1-4 after that, like, ooh, that stings, man. That really stings, especially a guy like Joey Ice.
Yeah, so shout out to Kilburn. That's his beauty's name from Edmonton. He said, bet these primetime field goals on the props. And then shout out to one of my good buddies, T-Rex, Tom Riley, my neighbor at the Bay Club. I'm actually heading to the home opener in Vegas with Todd Pickup, our boy Max Pickup, who's in the booth, T-Rex, Schmooze, and a few of the other boys to watch Vegas play the Avs tomorrow. T-Rex loves the first period overs. Over a goal and a half. Listen, at the start of the season, I think it's a great bet, but all season these things continue to hit. So keep an eye out for it. But first period overs in the first month of the season, I love them, boys. So get involved. DraftKings, baby. It's a DraftKings NHL preseason picks, fella. Presented by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings. The crown is yours. Jay Swish, my man, it is playoff prediction time, my man. We got 82 games. Everybody thinks they're going to make the playoffs, right? Everybody's looking around. Well, maybe not everyone. San Jose, Chicago, Calgary. But teams on the bubble, we can get in, right? Me and you, we're deep partners. Look, we can get in this year, right? We can get in. Get off to a good start. Hey, first 20 games. Let's go, boys. First 20 games. Let's go. Let's go, buddy. Let's pick them. We're going to start with the Atlantic Division. You go ahead, fella. I got to pull mine up here. So you set the tone for the boys. Who you got in the Atlantic?
In the Atlantic Division, OB, I am obviously going to go with the Panthers. I got the Leafs. I have the Bruins. And I am going to go with the Red Wings as well. Sneak it into the playoffs, my friend. Derek Lalonde, we touched on him. The Red Wings a little bit last week. Vladimir Tarasenko they added. Obviously, they got their young guns locked in. I think they take another step forward with a healthy Billy Husso in between the pipes. I think this team is good. Patty Showtime Kane is a guy. He's just a winner, and I think he's going to ultimately get those guys over the hump. I like Larkin. I like a lot of those guys that are from the Detroit area on their team. So, Obi, that would be my sneaky pick. I like the Wings in, fella.
Ooh, baby. All right, for me in the Atlantic, I got the Boston Bruins winning the Atlantic. I also have the Boston Bruins winning the Eastern Conference and getting to the Stanley Cup Finals this year. I love that they brought in Lindholm down the pipe to shore up their lack of depth down the middle. Big Zadorov on the back end. I love their size when it comes to a 7-game series, but I just think Lindholm helps their depth so much. Pass is going to be fired up. Marchand's going to be ready to go. Swayman, we'll see how they're obviously going to ease him in. We'll see how that goes. But I'm going to go Boston in first to win the Atlantic, Toronto Maple Leafs in second, and the Florida Panthers, the defending Stanley Cup champs, to finish third in the Atlantic Division. Yeah. So Metro Division, this one, fella. I'll set the tone here for the boys. This one here, man, the New Jersey Devils to me are a team that you just got to watch out for. And actually, I'm going to say the New Jersey Devils win the Metro Division. Then I'm going to go New York Rangers second. This is where it gets. And then I got to go, even though I think they took a step back, I really do. I think the Carolina Hurricanes are going to be third. So I got Devils to win it with Markstrom to win the Pacific Division. Rangers, Hurricanes.
I like that. I am going to go Rangers to win the Metro. I'm going to go Devils play second. I really like their team. I like their back end. They got some young guns back there. Obviously, Jack Hughes healthy. I think Sheldon Keefe will get those guys to maybe a level that, they couldn't have with Lindy Ruff. So I like that. And I like probably the Hurricanes to finish in third, fellas. So, and then are we going to do wild cards too? Or
oh, yeah, baby. Let's go. You said this is where, and by the way, I used to always talk about when I did the power play with Cooley, Steve Cool is absolute beauty. He would talk about teams not making the playoffs and this. It's hard to make the playoffs in the National Hockey League. It is fucking hard to get in. And when you look at this, when it comes to these wild card teams, and you look at the rest of the Eastern Conference, this makes you realize how hard it is to get in the fucking dance. You need to have a good team to get in. So go ahead, wild card, Swish. Who do you like?
So I can pick two teams from the Atlantic, right, for my wild card, correct? Because it doesn't matter.
It's a wild card, fella. You get wild.
Yeah,
get wild, baby. Get wild.
I'm wild thing, baby. I'm going wild. So obviously my Atlantic was I'm going to go my Leafs number 1, Panthers, and then Bruins. And then I'm going to go for my wild card teams. I'm going to go the Red Wings and the Senators, the Ottawa Senators. Those are my 2 wild card teams coming out of the Atlantic, fella.
Wow. Sorry, I'm dying over here. I got something caught in my throat, fella. Yeah. Listen, this is tough. I'm with you. I got the Ottawa Senators, Travis Green, Brady Tkachuk, all marked between the pipes. I got them as wild card team 2. And for wild card 1, as much as I, let Kyle Dubas know how I really feel about him and all his analytics, and he's brought in a veteran team. I'm going to say the Pittsburgh Penguins also make a wild card. So I'm going to go with the Ottawa Senators and the Pittsburgh Penguins to be my wild card team. So I got the Red Wings out. I got Tampa out, which I can't even believe I got Tampa out. Coop, I'm sorry, man. I love you. I can't even believe I got Tampa out. Do you have Tampa out too?
Yeah, I got Tampa out. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That would be crazy.
Man, they just lost their captain, Obi, in these teams. I just think, I don't know. I mean, Coop, I love him. He's a proven winner. I love what they're doing down there. Anytime you lose, a guy like Steven Stamkos, it's tough, man. It really is. I get that they bring McDonough back and they have some pieces. But to me, without Stamkos, I'm looking at these other teams and I'm thinking, I think they're ahead of them right now. And I'm just a guy here just sitting with a microphone talking in Salt Lake City like I know the fucking league. But I'm just saying, that's what I got.
Hey, you're like Anchorman Ron Burgundy. I wanted to yell from a mountain, but I didn't have a mountain. I had a microphone. Listen, I just scratched out Pittsburgh. Sorry, Sid. Tampa. I think Tampa gets in. I just think, what I said about Pitt being a veteran team to get them in, I'm actually going to go back on that and I think they're too old. And I just think Tampa with Kucherov and Point and Hedman and Vasilevsky, they got to find a way to get in there. So, hey, it's our podcast. We can do whatever we want. I'm changing my pick. So I got Tampa and Ottawa for the wild cards in the East. Jay Swish, Pacific Division, fella.
Yeah, Obi, starting at the top, obviously I'm going to go loyal to the oil. I think you're going to win that division. And then I think coming in second will be the real Rocket Tockets. Vancouver Canucks, I think they'll be right there. I think that division will come neck and neck. I just think the Oilers will get off to a better start this year and ultimately be able to take that division. And then, fella, in third place, it gets a little dicey. I like the Kraken. I think they're a little better than this year. I don't think they're going to place third. The Kings, to me, they took a step back. So I'm going to stay on the heavy hitters out of Vegas. I think that decor is too good. I think Aiden Hill will have a rebound year. and they will place third. So, fella, that's my Pacific right there. The Oilers, Canucks, Golden Knights coming in at the 3-hole right there.
Yeah, I got the same thing as you. I think the Edmonton Oilers, obviously, we know their awful start last year that cost Jay Woodcroft his job. I don't think they're going to get off to that, Stanley Cup hangover. I just think, listen, they got all their guys coming back. There wasn't a whole lot of injuries besides Evander Kane, who's out, needs surgery. Other than that, they seem pretty healthy after going to the final. I just think 97 and 29 are on a mission. I think they realize how important home ice advantage will be for them come playoff time, and they want it right into the Stanley Cup final or throughout the whole thing. So I'm going Oilers. I got Talks in the Canucks, and I'm with you, Jack Eichel and the Vegas Golden Knights. What a loaded division, by the way. But what do you got in the Central, baby?
Well, my Central Division champs this year, I'm going to go with the Colorado Avalanche. I just think what they have, Nate McKinnon just going in sicko mode. I think they're just going to be locked and loaded. They got a little rest over the summer. They're hungry. They have some piss and vinegar in them. So I think they're hungry, fella. I think a hungry dog runs fast, and that is Nate McKinnon galloping through the neutral zone. So I'm going to go them at number 1. I have the Dallas Stars coming in at 2. Even so, losing a guy like Joe Pavelski, especially in the room, Mr. America, I do think that team is still really good. They have a lot of good pieces. In third, I have the Nashville Predators. I'm going to go with Snook O'Reilly, the factor, obviously adding Marcia Show, Steven Stamkos, a solid D-core, UC Saros between the pipes. I think those boys, Barry Trotz down there in the Music City, are up to something, Obi. So that is my top 3 right there in the Central Division. What do you got there, fella?
Fella, I'm with you. Obviously, they brought out the checkbook this year in Nashville. Basically just blank check and said, here, write down a number and find your realtor and let's get you a nice big pad here in Tennessee with no state tax. I'm going to take the Nashville Predators to win the Central Division. I just think with all their pieces they had coming in, Stammer's got something to prove, right? Marcia Sol feels disrespected after leaving Vegas. Brady Shea comes in, wants to earn that contract. Roman Josi, Suros between the pipes. I just think they're going to be just hungry right from the opening get-go. I think they win the Central Division. Dallas Stars second, and the Colorado Avalanche third. I still think without Big Val and no Gabriel Landeskog to start the season, I think it's going to hurt them. Listen, I love the Avalanche every night at home at Ball Arena. It just doesn't seem to travel on the road for them. I don't think they're going to win the division. However, if they get Big Nichushkin back and my boy Landeskog back, I think they're as good as anyone to win the Stanley Cup. But that's what I got for the Central. And for the wild card, baby, I'll go first. I'm going to take the Winnipeg Jets and Dan Bilesma, Disco Dan, Kraken like rain, and the Seattle Kraken as my second wild card team. Bala?
Yeah, you couldn't have said it better myself. You took the words right out of my mouth. Obviously, the Winnipeg Jets, Las Vegas, Vegas of the North. I'm going to go with the Winnipeg Jets, the whiteout, as the wild card number 1. And number 2, sliding just west over to the Pacific Northwest, Kraken like rain, Disco Dan. I'm taking those boys to get in, Obi. So those are my 2 wild cards. Man, the West, man, those guys are just going to beat up on each other all year, dude. Those are some heavy hockey teams there.
Yeah. It's just hard to get in. I mean, it's such a good league, and there's so many good teams. And, it's going to be a bloodbath out West. I think the East, again, the Metro, I think is wide open. I took the Devils, but, obviously we're going to talk about Shesterkin later in the show. It's on, fella. And for my NHL future bets here at Draftkings, all right, here's my prediction, fella. I think it's going to be an Edmonton Oilers, Boston Bruins Stanley Cup final. That's what I'm picking. I just think the Oilers, if McDavid is 5% better than he was last year, and Draisaitl's 5% better than he was last year, and the added Arvidsson, Jeff Skinner, Stuart Skinner now knows that he can get to the Stanley Cup final. Their back end has some issues. I just think they're gonna be so motivated. And what Boston did, like I said, with Lindholm, I love their back end. Swayman's gonna be motivated to prove that he's worth that contract. That's my Stanley Cup final. But when you're betting, fella, you got to tickle the infield a little bit, right? You can't just have all your – you got to tickle it. So I got
the hot corner.
I got the Edmonton Oilers and the Boston Bruins, but I also tickled the Colorado Avalanche at plus 1,200 to win the Stanley Cup. I tickled the Rick Tocchet and the Vancouver Canucks at plus 2,200. Just a little bet for me, but I tickled them. And then out east, I also tickled the New York Rangers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. So, listen, maybe some guys are like, Obes, pick the whole league. Why don't you pick the whole league, Obes? Hey, listen, boys, I got to sprinkle it around, and that's who I like, Swish.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting there right now, Obi, on the roulette table, and you got a couple numbers you like. You're going to play the inside, you're going to play the outside, you got to play, odds and evens. So I like where your head's at. For me, I know I said it last week, but I'm staying with the Colorado Avalanche. They're at plus 1,300. Listen, if they can get Big Val back, if they can get even a 75, 80% Gabe Landeskog in time and ready to compete in April, they're going to raise the level just because having the captain back, that boost. I think McKinnon, McCarr, Taves, those guys can hold them over until December, Obi. And I think after the new year is when you're going to see that team just absolutely skyrocket, especially getting maybe one of two of those guys back at least, if not both of them. So we'll monitor that situation, see what's going on with the captain there. But obviously Big Val will be back, so I like them. I'm going to tickle them. Obviously, I'm going to tickle the Oilers in the West a little bit too. I don't know in terms of the Panthers if they have enough steam to get back there, Obi. I just don't know. I mean, I can't doubt Chucky. I can't doubt those guys, but it's just like, can they really roll it back for the third year in a row? I mean, you saw Tampa Bay do that and just how tired and gassed they were come the finals. So we'll see on that front. Another team just out there in the East, the Boston Bruins. You said it yourself. So my final ultimately would probably be the Bruins and the Colorado Avalanche, and the Avalanche hoisting the mug come mid-June, fella.
I would have no problem with that. We'd be able to go to Denver for the finals, see Kiefer, Johnny Michael Lyles, Kyle Quincy, see all the Avs boys. I'm with you. We talked about the Amazon Faceoff. Landeskog basically said, in so many words, that he's going to give it a go no matter what. Like, he's not just going to ride off into the sunset without even trying. Like, he's like, listen, if I can go out there and compete, I'm going to give it a go. Big Val, we get him back, get him healthy, keep him on the right track. I love it, dude. I think them at plus 1,300. You're stupid not to tickle them. Some other teams you might want to tickle here too. The Vegas Golden Knights at plus 1,800. If they can score, they're as good as anybody in the league. Their back end 1 through 6. I'm going to say it's the best in the league. I mean, you look at it. It's what is it? Hannafin, Theodore, Petrangelo, McNabb. Hank, Whitecloud.
Yep.
Like, come on, man. That 1 through 6 is as good as it gets. Aiden Hill finds his game again. Can they score goals? That's what's going to be to me. Nashville Predators at plus 1,800. Why not? Why not tickle them? And then out east, the New Jersey Devils at plus 1,200 to me. You can throw the Maple Leafs in there as well, plus 1,300. But to the Devils, Markey and net just shores up that problem. Can Jack Hughes and the boys stay healthy up front? Are they tough enough? They brought in Cotter and Nason. I don't know. Those are, if you want to sprinkle the infield a little bit and really get some skin in the game at Draftkings, baby, those are some that jump out to me, fella.
Yeah, I know. And you mentioned New Jersey, and I like the makeup of their decor. They added a guy like Brendan Dillon, Dougie Hamilton back in the mix, and they have some young, skillful puck movers back there between all of that. Brett Pesce will be back in the lineup here soon if he didn't play already in Czech. I didn't see if he was in the game there. But, Obi, do they have enough? Like, is Jesper Bratt enough? Is their captain Nico Hischier have enough jam or play with enough pace? Like, those are some of the questions are when big boy hockey happens, can they play against those big defensemen on the Boston Bruins? Can they get through a scrappy Florida team? Like, talk to me on that, because that would be my only thing looking at that team and just looking at them on paper. Just looking at them on paper. Can these guys play big boy hockey? Can they get to the net on a Zadorov, McAvoy, some of these big defensemen a team like Boston would have?
It's a great question, and that's the only concern I have for them as well. You look down the pipe here, you got Jack Hughes, love that kid, love his swag on and off the ice. Nico Hischier, Eric Holla, and Curtis Lazar as their fourth-line center for what I'm seeing here. Not a lot of size down the pipe, right? You look at Barkov last year, Eichel the year before, McKinnon the year, like, you need some big boys down the pipe. They don't have that, and time will tell. I do think Stefan Nason and Paul Carter bring some grit that they needed. Brandon Dillon on the back end brings some size to them. Dougie Hamilton's back. But I'm with you. Can Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier come 4 to 7 every other night, playing against the big boys? Can they do it? I don't know. I personally don't think they can. But if they can figure that out, they're as good as anyone. So, and fella, when we go to the awards, these are locks. Unless these guys get hurt, these are fucking locks. I took Connor McDavid at plus 150 on DraftKings to win the Hart. And I took your boy AM34 to win the Rocket at plus 135. Those babies are locks, unless, obviously, knock on wood, I hope they don't get hurt. That would be awful for the league. Put those in the bank, baby.
Yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it, whatever you got, a spliff, or you're just burning down some backwood tobacco. Obi, those are locks, and to me, the other lock is Cale Makar. Like, if he can stay healthy and he can put up, somewhere between 90 and 100 points, which I think he can do a whole 82-game slate. I mean, watching that guy dance, I mean, he walks the line like a young Johnny Cash back there, and he's so fun to watch, and just the way he can just, like, sell just everything, just like, down the wall, and then it's to the middle, and his pump fakes, and he's pumpernickel. Like, it's so fun to watch, and I just think if he's playing and he's healthy, there's not a defenseman in the league that isn't even remotely close to him. He's similar to, like, McDavid, where it's just like he's just in another league ahead of these guys. And, man, I just think that Norris Trophy, I just think that's a complete lock if Makar plays a full 82.
Yeah, the only guy that would say something about that would probably be Quinn Hughes, right? I mean, Quinn Hughes, maybe, if Bouchard has an unbelievable, crazy year in Oilers and gets, over 100 points. But I'm with you. It goes Cale Makar, and I love Quinn Hughes, but he's even, a step below Cale. But I love watching Quinn Hughes walk the line, 2 tight turns. I'm like, wow, that'd be sick to go out there. So Draftkings, baby, get some skin in the game. Hopefully those hit for the boys, but I can't wait. It's going to be a great year of betting on hockey. Jay Swish, we'll be right back. I'm Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Jay Swish, get this guy a Labatt Blue.
Presented by Labatt Blue Light, the pristine Pilsner. Enjoy your beers together so you can live life to the power of we. Folks, always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
Oh, yeah, baby. The beers are on ice. I got Blue Lights in my fridge right now. Whenever you come into town, buddy, come on over for an ice-cold Blue Light. Listen, I hope the boys are thirsty because I'm dishing Blue Lights out this week. Our boy Clayton Keller, named the first captain in Utah Hockey Club history. I love Kells. Gave him a little text. Congratulations. Obviously, from what I know of him, not the most rah guy, sorry. Going to lead by example, but unbelievable skill. Great kid. Does all the right things. So Clayton Keller, get yourself a Blue Light, fella. Jack Eichel, in the Amazon Faceoff series, has his own personal chef, has the boys over for pregame at home games, cooks up a little chickie and passes it for the boys. They come over, they eat, they leave. How nice is that if you're a Vegas Golden Knight? You don't want to have to do dishes. You don't want to eat out because, your stomach doesn't feel good. Go over to Ike's house. He's got his own personal chef. So Jack Eichel, get yourself a Labatt Blue. You're a glue guy, fella. I love it. And last but not least for me, Paul Cotter over in Prague. What a city, Jay Swish. I love it over there. That's the reason I ended up being a Vancouver Canuck, me and Bugsy. I went out 10 straight. I think Bugsy went out 13 straight. Paul Cotter, 2 goals. Loved him in Vegas. Love him in Jersey. I think he's going to be a huge pickup for Sheldon Keefe and the New Jersey Devils. Get yourself a Blue Light, fella. That's how you start off the season, Jay Swish.
Yeah, and he's got sneaky good skill, Obi. That Paul Cotter, I mean, he's sneaky good. The way he can stick handle in a phone booth a little bit. And he got that puck. He corralled it from Jack Hughes. And got that puck, and he went a little dipsy-do. He went forehand, backhand, back to his forehand, and kind of tucked it right over the goalie, right? Like, got him down, Obi, and then kind of tucked it right past his ear, just a little chip shot. So that was a hell of a finish, especially in Prague. And, yeah, he's got sneaky skill, a great guy in the locker room. I think that's a really good pickup for the New Jersey Devils. Get this guy an icy cold Labatt Blue. Comes over from the Amazon doc that I have not watched yet, but I've been getting a ton of text, Opes. People texting me, like, hey, Swish, did you see Willie Stiles? Did you see him rocking the butter hat? Did you see how clean he looked? I'm like, oh, yeah, fella. I got people sending it to me all day. I saw just a little bit of the game film, so I wanted to give a couple clicks and a beer over to Willie Stiles because he was rocking that bucket, and he looked unbelievable. So thanks for rocking that, Willie Stiles, fella. My other one, Obi, goes over to baseball, and it happened probably 6 days ago now that we're recording now, but it just a guy out of New York, plays for the Mets, a long-time Met tenured player there, is Pistol Pete Alonso. I mean, that guy loves the home run derby more than I think most humans could love a human baby, but at least he stepped up in October. He got it done against my hometown squad, the Brewers, home state, that is, and he hit that go-ahead dinger to send the Mets into the playoffs. So get him a beer. They're playing right now. I'm not sure what that series is at with the
1-1.
What is that?
1-1. I got the Phillies in that series. Yeah, 1-1.
Yeah, I wanted to just shout out to Pistol Pete, and that was he hit that thing out of the yard, Opes.
Did he ever? That was an unbelievable ball game too. They were fucking down and out and big. What do they call him? The Polar Bear, right? What a nickname, the Polar Bear. That's a nice nickname, eh? Come on in there, Polar Bear, get her done. listen, I got the Phillies to go all the way because Portnoy bet on it. My boy Larry Flowers, I wanted to cheer with him instead of always cheering against them. They had a big win in Game 2. Game 3 goes today, I believe, at 5 Eastern. Listen, you talk about Willie Nylander. His butter hat looked unbelievable. It looked unbelievable. I don't know Willie Nylander. I love his style. I love the way he plays the game. After watching him in his episode, guy seems like he's a little more nails than I thought. Like, he gives it to Marner on the bench. A lot more F-bombs than I thought. Yeah. So, listen, Willie Nylander, not that you give a fuck, but you could play on my team any day you want, fella. He just seemed like he's a lot harder than I thought. Yeah, I like holding there a lot more.
You would like the guy. He's way more nails than you think. He's one of those guys that is not afraid to voice his opinion. He works his ass off, obviously, as all the elite players do. But he's one of those guys that has a I don't give a fuck attitude. He plays harder than you think. He's meaner than you think, especially and then a competitive edge, in terms of just bringing that fight to it. Not afraid to call guys out. He's one of those guys that you win with, and it's just cool to see that he was rocking that. And I like when he gave it to Marner or Matthews, whoever it was, because those guys, sometimes you need a little wake-up call from your buddy, and hey, it's a two-way street. If I need to get woken up too, don't be afraid to say, hey, fella, let's fucking go here. Yeah. Like, let's go. We need this.
Yeah, well, it's actually Nylander and Matthews both just giving it to Marner, about basically saying, don't be a bitch. Hey, shoot the puck. It looked like Nylander was like, quit fucking whining. All you do is cry. Quit crying. All you do is cry. And then Matthews says something, and then Marner throws his glove. But listen, I'll tell you another thing about your boy Willie Styles. Doesn't mind letting the chest hair flow. I mean, the whole Amazon fucking episode, he's letting the chest hair just buck diddy. So good on him. By the way, Kyle Conway in the booth just told me that your boy, the polar bear, just hit a home run as you were talking about him.
Live
action. Must have heard you. Must have had the earpiece in the helmet, listening to Missin Curfew. Jay Swish pumping me up. Boom, home run, fella.
I was going to say, you might have heard it from the booth there. How much does that guy love the home run derby, though? I mean, he's in it.
Big fan.
I think like some years he's not even in the All-Star game, but he just begs the league to be in the home run derby. He's like, fellas, can I come? Like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm in, right? I'm in.
I often wonder how the body feels after taking all those swings. I mean, you got to go back in the clubhouse after and be like, ooh, fellas, give me a blue light and a few other things to take. My hands hurt, my elbow hurts, my back's jammed up. Like, is it worth it to be the home run derby champ? I guess it is. They give you $1 million, I think, don't they? I guess it is worth it, but just a lot of hacks in those, man. A lot of swings for those guys in those home run derbies.
Yeah, hacksaw Jim Duggan, if you will. You're really you're choking and poking, and you're just trying to piss on everything. Yeah, that's you got to have a hot pack and a perk the next day for sure, Obes.
Kyle, what's the score of that game? I got the Phillies today. What's the score?
1-0 Mets, just off that home run.
What inning?
What inning? Low shot.
What inning?
Oh, second.
Lots of ball left. Lots of ABs. Hey, get a guy on, move him over, drive him. We got lots of time there. The fighting Phils. Boys, get the blue lights in you. Hockey's back. Nothing's better than watching the game with your boys with a crispy blue light. Swiss Dog, it's milk carton time. And listen, I don't know this kid personally. Probably a nice guy. Most hockey guys are a good guy. But Pierre Engvall, I'm putting him on the milk carton, and I have been dying to do this for years when he played for the Leafs. And then they went to fucking the Long Island. They gave him a 7-year contract. Patty Waugh had seen enough. He had seen enough, puts him on waivers. He obviously clears, goes back down the jungle. Maybe this will be good for this kid. Realize what it's like to be in the National League. And if he does come back up, or when he does come back up, maybe he'll compete a little bit harder because he does have skill. He can skate, decent hands, but his compete level was never where I needed it to be. Patty Waugh had seen enough. So if you're looking for your Pierre Engvall, he's on the milk carton. He's down in Bridgeport. He's no longer a National Leaguer, Swish.
Yeah, 6 years with a no NMC left too on that deal. I mean, not perfect. Listen, I played with this kid for probably 30 games in Toronto with the Marlies.
You did?
The Jungle. And we used to call him the Giraffe because he just had that long neck. I would always call him Long Fella Deeds, in terms of just having that long neck, and all the guys would kind of poke fun at him. No, listen, he's not a bad kid. It's just one of those things, in the locker room when you're just kind of chirping guys, and every guy's got their little quirks. But the one thing, Obi, is, and I tweeted about it yesterday, is he's going down to the Jungle, and now in the American Hockey League, you have to wear a neck guard. So I'm wondering, just out of pure safety, with that long giraffe neck, is he going to have to wear like 2 or 3 neck guards? Are they making a triple wide one? Like, can we get him maybe a Thomas Volcanic, like Hugo Boss turtleneck? And maybe you don't even roll it over. You just have it like, a custom neck guard in there just for protection, because I'm wondering on that with the boys now in the American Hockey League having to wear the neck guard. Is one going to be enough? I'm not sure. That's just a question I have over here as a People's Insider.
Man, you have to wear a neck guard in the jungle now? Like, just seems like that would be that would be hot, right? Doesn't seem like it would be hot.
Oh, I mean, obviously, you know what happened last.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible.
But still, So the boys, they got to throw the neck guards in the jungle just for safety. But I'm just curious, like, hopefully they got a double wide for that fella because I don't know if one's going to be enough.
I don't know. Maybe the trainers at Bridgie are listening. If you're listening, get a guy a double barrel neck guard. Listen, does he like his fucking beers? What's he like? I've always wondered does he have a beer? Like, he seems like he'd just be a hockey nerd to me. But what's he like?
You know, he's a Swedish kid. Listen, he's a nice kid. Am I texting him after the game saying, "Where are you going?"
Yeah, I know. Is he Swedish? I didn't even know he's Swedish. I thought
different strokes for different folks. Right?
Yeah.
And listen, he'd be at the team parties and hanging out. He's not a bad dude by any means. Am I going to hang out with him? No, I got Garrett Wilson on my team that year. I got guys that throw both ways and fuck hard. So I'll just go hang out with him.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll see at the team party. Maybe we won't.
I love the Hammer. Still playing, right? Lee Valley? Love the Hammer.
He played in a preseason game the other night. He was rocking number 87. He was calling himself the Walmart Sid. He was no bucket at the Wells Fargo Center for the Philly Flyers. I mean, the guy, he's like a fine wine, baby. Still chucking him.
Yeah, I love Hammer. Good luck to him. Last but not least here for the milk carton, I'm Missin Curfew. I heard from a source, an Edmonton Oilers season ticket holder, who will remain nameless. The fucking Oilers bumped up the season tickets 30%. I get it. You just gave Leon Draisaitl 114 bananas, and you're about to give McDavid probably 150 bananas. But to bump it up 30% on your loyal fans after you just went to the Stanley Cup Finals, it wasn't too long ago where the Oilers were fucking brutal. When I was in the league, they stunk. Before they got McDavid and Draisaitl, they stunk. They've had, they went to the finals last year, but before that, one Western Conference final appearance. I don't know. I'm putting the Edmonton Oilers on the milk carton for bumping up 30%. To me, Jay Swish, that's not right, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's not 10%, Obi. That's not 20. That's 30. So if your ticket was, I'm not a math guy over here, if it was, $100, it's 130 now. So if it was 200, it's 260. Like, that's pretty significant, man, especially for the good people of Edmonton. Like, those are blue-collar folks. That's the 6 a.m. crew working until 5 o'clock and then trying to find a Boston pizza to have 6 quick drinks and then go to the game.
Yeah.
That ain't perfect. To me, come on. Do something like the Utah Hockey Club is doing over here. Maybe it's not with the season tickets, but you're giving people Dasani waters for $2, and we're trying to treat the fans a little bit because at the end of the day, Obi, you need those people and you need them showing up.
Yeah, it's just, and you talk about, when you do watch the Amazon Faceoff and you talk about Draisaitl re-signing there and McDavid, listen, they're not living in Edmonton because it's the most beautiful place to go, right? They have a beautiful brand new rink, I get that, but they play there for the fans. That's why they love playing there. And to bump it up 30% on these Oiler fans, I didn't like it. This guy that told me has been an Oilers fan, was an Oilers season ticket holder for like 20 years, and he couldn't renew them this year. He couldn't afford it. And to me, that's sad. That's not what hockey's all about back home, especially when you have, the best player in the world and you just went to the final and the city was buzzing. Anyways, you're on the milk carton because I just don't think that's appropriate. Swish Dog, it is the Jagger iciest shot of the night. Presented by Jagermeister. Best served at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Damn, that's cold. Check Jagermeister out. www.DraftkingsXJagermeister.com. Jay Swish, we'll be doing lots of these at KC Live, buddy, but cheers, fella.
Cheers, fella. I'm going to have one tonight.
Damn, that's cold. I'll tell you what, that's nice coming out of that little machine there. Fucking 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Get those going. High stepping. You're in for a good night, folks.
You get the twinkle toes going. The hips are loose. Now the back feels better. Oh, my God. Is that the big fella on the dance floor? Is he dropping in little shimmy shake to the stanky leg, getting the shoulders activated? Holy, the double nickel. Look at him go.
Look at him go, fella. Listen, shout out to this rookie, good old Irish name here, Seamus. Seamus Casey. His goal was unbelievable. Guard at the blue line. Jay Swish, it seems like every young defenseman can do this now, right? The old pull and drag, gets at the blue line, pull and drags it to the middle. Booyah, short side, top titty. Unbelievable goal to Seamus Casey. It's the Jagermeister, iciest shot of the night. The pull and drag, release, booyah. Welcome to National League, kid. Get yourself a shot of Jagger.
I mean, for a first goal, too, just coming out of college, like your first game or second game or whatever it was, getting that puck on the power play at the top of the key. And these kids now, they used to call it the toe drag. Well, now they're calling it the toe suck. So he sucked that puck in. He got it right around that, that I think it was Alex Tuck, the PKer, got it in, and then went short side Cheddar. Cheddar is always better. And Obi, he got the player of the game for that, too. You know what he got in Prague? He got a Rolex. So not only does he get the Jagger iciest shot of the night, he got a Rolex on top of that. So first goal comes with a Rolex. I mean, talk about high-stepping in Prague that night for that kid. Jesus.
That's like, fuck, giving out Rolexes. I would have fucking shot the puck a little bit more if I'd given out Rolexes back in the day. But good for that kid. He'll always remember his first one. And listen, honorable mention, Princey cut it on me, but honorable mention, 91 and your boy AM34. Preseason game against Detroit. Matthews is just coming in, dingle dangling. How are you? Backhand to Tavares. Tavares, booyah, short side titty. That was nasty too. I know it was preseason, but that was NHL regular season quality, fella.
Yeah, I didn't catch that one, Obi, but the way you described it is sounds silky. Sounds silky. And it sounds like Tavares is going to start on that second line with Nylander. So, and him and Domi we had on. So that should be a good second line. Obviously, the first line with Nyes and Matthews as well as Mitchie Marner. So we'll see. We'll see how that line cooks it up. But yeah, Tavares, he looks like he's skating a little better, Obes.
Are you telling me that they're not starting Domi with Matthews? Is that what you're telling me? That is an absolute joke.
That is what I saw as of yesterday. Projected opening night lines was Nyes, and then Marner on the wing, and then down the middle was 34. And that second line was Tavares, Domi, and Willie Stiles.
Yeah, that's what I see here too. But I love Matty Nyes, but I just think the magic that Domi had last year in the playoffs with Matthews and, put him with Marner, but it's a long season, right? It's 82 games. Yep. Time will tell. Jay Swiss, beep, beep, beep. Back up the Brinks truck fella here at Missin Curfew. First and foremost, to our boy Tyson Barrie. Bears, you did it, fella. 1 year, 1.25. You were pumping his tires last week. Listen, the guy's such a great kid. He says all the right things. He was joking about how they called him in the summertime about a PTO. He's like, no, you kidding me, PTO? And then he's like, we had to circle back to them and be like, hey, yeah, we'll take that PTO now. So Tyson Barrie, congratulations. Swish, he's a National Leaguer. He deserves to be in the league. Good on Craig Conroy and the Calgary Flames.
800 games, Obi, 505 points as a defenseman. I mean, that's National League numbers. Can run a first power play, like I said last week. Great guy in the room. And his honesty, just his charisma. A long season, Obi, you need those guys in the locker room that keep it light. He's funny, and he can still play at a high level. So just happy for him. Obviously, I know his dad a little bit just being down in Scottsdale, and just a great dude the times I've met him in passing. So a couple clicks for Bears. Yeah. And you know what? Another year making 7 figures. Yeah. No bad days in that league, baby. No bad days. You don't got to go to Europe, and you're not going to the A. No bad days, baby.
No, just make sure you got your winter jacket with you, Bears, because she gets a little nippy there in Cowtown through the old holiday season and into the new year. But good for him, and I do think he will flourish once he gets an opportunity to get in the lineup and play there. Niles Hoglander, 3 years, 9 bananas for the Vancouver Canucks. Listen, this kid's undersized, but he plays his fucking balls off. He played great last year under Rick Tocchet. I think this is a fair deal for him. I think it's a fair deal for the Vancouver Canucks. This guy competes. We just put Pierre Engvall in the milk carton for not competing. Well, when he's down at Bridgepoint, turn on a fucking Vancouver Canucks game, Engvall, and watch Hoglander compete for pucks, forecheck, hard on the wall, gives his balls a tug, goes to the net. I'm happy for this kid, Jay Swiss. 3 years, 9 banana. Good deal all around for this fella.
Yeah, I mean, a great little deal there is as a restricted free agent getting extended. 24 goals last year, OB 12 assists, so he was a candidate for the Cy Young Award in terms of, 24 and 12, pretty good numbers that way. But yeah, listen, a guy that can play in your middle six, he hunts the puck. He's a little water bug out there, what he is. And he plays his ass off. He's not afraid to throw that little frame like a bowling ball into guys. He just hunts the puck, man. He's a honey badger on it, and that's a guy that you win with. So congrats to him. 9 bananas. That's a hell of a deal for a guy that plays, third line, whatever it is. He can play up and down a lineup. So a couple clicks for that guy as well.
Yeah, that's the thing about him. He can play up and down the lineup. Play him on your second line. If he gets in Tox's doghouse, you put him down the fourth line. He still brings energy. Brings energy every single night. And I love guys that compete for all 82. That's what it's all about to me. Max Pacioretty, another guy in a PTO. Fuck, the boys I miss. I'm pumping our tires for all these guys getting deals. I complained enough that the GM's like, shut up, Obes. Shut your fucking mouth. Here, we're giving these guys contracts. Pacioretty, 1 year, $875. The rich get richer. Never about money for this guy. He's got enough money the last couple lifetimes. But, hey, I'm pulling for him, Jay Swish. I hope he can stay healthy. I played against Pacioretty. big, strong, can shoot the puck. Back in Montreal, he was a pure goal scorer. I just hope he can stay healthy. He's got he's got the old 10-game bonus in there. I wish I had that bonus in my contract. 10 games, he gets like $330,000, and then 35 games, he gets another bonus. I just thought the old 10-game, that's a nice little bonus, eh? Give me a 10-game bonus there, fellas.
Yeah, and guys that are, I believe, that are 35 and older, you can start getting those structured bonus deals where it's like 10 games, 20 games, and basically get anything worked into that contract. Obi, I wanted to ask you, obviously, he's dealt with injuries over the last few years. Last season, playing 47 games for the Washington Capitals. He had 419, fella, for 23 points in 47 games. If you're looking at Patches to play a third-line role, how many goals can he get you with the Leafs? Can he get you 15, playing a little second power play?
Yeah.
Get you 20? What is his game looking like in terms of what they'll need for secondary scoring for the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Yeah, I would say if you ask Brad Treliev and Craig Berube, if he played over 50 games and scored over 10 goals, they'd be happy with that. That would be a good for him, and they can play in the playoffs. Like, the chance of Pacioretty playing all 82 are, minus 2,500 on DraftKings. Like, he's probably going to get banged up just because of his history with injuries. But I think if he gets over 10, can play over 50 games, and is available come playoff time, Swish, I think Tree and Chief would take that right now.
Yeah, so you're looking at anywhere between probably 11 and 14 minutes of time on ice per game, second power play. And like you said, anything over 10-odd goals is you're playing with the house's money is what you're saying to me.
Yeah, exactly. And if he does find that fountain of youth in Toronto, and he can stay healthy, and he does get his legs back, and he finds that scoring touch and ends up scoring 20 for you, I mean, now it looks like the signing of the offseason, right? And stays healthy and, playing on your top two lines, or, one night you move him up, then you move him down. It's interesting. And listen, Pacioretty's playing with the house's money right now. He went in on a PTO, made the hockey club. I'm happy for him. And last but not least, and back up the Brinks truck, Swish, we've been talking about, everybody in the hockey world's been talking about this. Jeremy Swayman finally gets her done. 8 years, 66 bananas. Did he just not want to go to training camp? Or, why could they not get this done a month ago?
He may have a girlfriend over at BU where he was skating, and he's like, you know what? I kind of like her. I don't want to leave her dorm.
Tough to
be nice over here, and I don't want to just, overexert myself in terms of, playing too many preseason games and not being fresh for the season. But, Obi, they come to a number at 8 and a hook per year times 8, where everyone kind of had it in the neighborhood of, and they agree to terms. It sounds like, obviously, he won't play opening night, but Jim Montgomery didn't rule it out. So we'll see on that front. Once he gets his hips up to par, a little two-pad stack, slide across, feel good. The butterfly, feel good in that V8 position. We'll get him rolling, and they need him in Boston. So it's good to see that finally got closed. And Obi, over the whole soap opera, one side says something, the other side says something. The media runs with it. At the end of the day, when you get that paycheck and you see that number, I think life's pretty good. You just gotta throw it in the rearview mirror, fella, and you know what? We'll go from here.
Yeah, it was just business. I mean, I knew it when I played the NHL that it was a business. You know that as a player, you know that you're only as good as your last shift, and as much as they loved you last year, they may not bring you back and all this stuff. And I knew it was only business for these guys. And you learn this when you retire and start actually doing real business, that when it comes down to something, business comes first. It's not personal. This is what's best for my business, what's best for my hockey club. It was always business. I think it's a great deal for Swayman. And I don't have to tell Monty to do his job. The guy's an unbelievable coach. But I guarantee if you're in that coach's room and Don Sweeney and Cam Neely, front office, everyone's talking, you got to be careful easing him in here. The last thing you want to do is throw him in there and he pulls a fucking groin and he's battling it all year, right? Like, if the goalies with their groins and knees and shit, if he gets hurt early, it's something that will linger all year. They want to make sure that you ease him in here. Korpisalo's a National League goaltender. He can handle it, but you just don't want Swayman to get hurt, Jay Swish.
No, listen, we touched on in weeks prior with him missing camp time and coming in, and you're trying to catch essentially a train that's already moving. And you don't want to do that where you have to go full tilt right out of the gates. Let's get him in some practices. Let's get him around some National Leaguers, shooting the puck on him, especially a 60-goal scorer like David Pastrnak and some of these other guys with heavy shots. Get him feeling good with the goalie coach. And then when Swayman is ready and he feels comfortable, ultimately get him in there because he'll still be able to play, Obi, 50, 60 games, whatever you need him for.
Yeah, exactly. And they picked up a goalie on waivers, so it's like they got 3 goalies right now up in the National League. Just take your time. Monty knows this. I'm not telling him anything he doesn't know, but for me, outside looking in, for a guy that's got his money on the Boston Bruins, let's just make sure Swayman doesn't get hurt here, boys, all right? We got bigger things to worry about. Let him take the first month to ease in. Maybe play him 1 every 3 games or something like that. So back up the Brinks truck. It's a great league. Guys are getting paid, so good on them. Last but not least here at Missin Curfew, it's the rumor mill, baby. I said to you last week on our Metro Division preview, it was last week or the week before, I was worried about Igor Shesterkin. I didn't want it to be a distraction. You want to get this guy paid. Well, listen, Chris Drury once again must listen to Missin Curfew because he makes him an offer. Igor's got other plans. Kevin Weeks first reported. Weeksy turned down $11 million, would have been the richest contract in NHL history for a goaltender. Oh boy, game on. Hey, I was calling Kudobin the Mad Russian. Maybe Igor's the Mad Russian. $11 million? No, thank you. Niet. No, thank you. All right, I'm gonna just weigh my options. It is on in New York now. I don't know how this unfolds, Jay Swish.
So, what does he want theoretically? What does the number start with 12 or is 11.5 do it? Like, what do you think his market value should be? I mean, being a goalie, Obi. I mean, I know it's arguably the most important position, if not the most important position on your team, but you don't want your goalie taking up, what, like 15% of your cap? That seems crazy to me to pay a guy, what, $12 million? We get it that the cap's going up. We know salaries are being boosted, but it's like, how much does he want, and how much do you think the team is willing to pay? I would say you can't go north of 11.5, can you?
Well, the thing about it is I think this guy, I would pay this guy whatever. I think he is the best goalie in the league. I think he's just getting into his prime. The way he played last year against Carolina, Florida, I mean, if it wasn't for him against Florida, they would have got swept. I mean, he's that good. So listen, the cap next year, they already announced, Bettman, Bill Daly, it's going up to 92.5. It's almost your radio station. Hey, what are you, 93.1?
93.1.
Eventually, the cap is going to be your radio station. So I'm sure Igor's like, all right, and his agent are like, let's just take a breather. They're projecting 92.5. It's probably going to be up over $100 million halfway through his contract. So I don't know. And listen, state tax, price of living in New York, all that goes into it. But typically, from guys that I played against and guys that played New York, Russian guys, they love New York. Lots of Russian restaurants, lots of Russian culture in that city. I always knew the guys flying in, the Russian boys were excited to hit the city, to go for dinner and drink some vodka and have a time. But listen, I warned the Rangers fans last week that this is something that I hope got done. This, to me, I don't know, Jay Swish. We'll see. But I would give him, I think this is a fair offer. Don't get me wrong. I think Chris Drury offered him 11 bananas a year. I think it's fair. But I think he knows how good he is, Jay Swish.
So you think, hypothetically speaking, if you gave him $12 million, the cap goes up to 92.5 next year, that's roughly 13% of your cap for your team. I mean, I'm not a math guy, but I think that checks out. So you think, just on pure numbers-wise, is he worth what I'm saying, 12 a year? Is he worth 12.5 a year?
Well, let me ask you this.
What's the cap going up? Are you comfortable if you're Chris Drury sitting there paying your guy that? And then, so your backup, OB, you're going to have to be paying him peanuts, is what I'm saying, because you can't have one goalie making $13 million and one making $4 million. Like that now gets absurd.
Yeah, well, listen, we're going to have to hire a cap guy at Missin Curfew. I'm not a cap guy. I'm not a numbers guy. Maybe pick or cons in the back or number guys. But listen, let me ask you this. Are the New York Rangers a playoff team without Shesterkin?
They're close.
They're close.
They're not winning around. I don't think they're winning around without them.
They are. They to me go from, I picked them to finish second and fight for the Metro. To me, they go to a wild card team instantly, depending on who their goalie is. I think he's that big of that big of a part of their hockey club. I think he makes them better than they are. Defensively, they had breakdowns last year throughout the whole season. Panarin and Zibanejad, they love going that way. They don't love coming back this way, and it's okay when you have Igor Shesterkin in there. Listen, I think this guy has all the leverage. I think Chris Drury, this is a fair offer. I just said last week on Missin Curfew, I was worried about this. Now it's a distraction. The media in New York is going to be eating this up. If Igor starts struggling, doesn't play well, they start booing him. He says, fuck you guys. I've seen it with Russian goaltenders. It's nothing, I love Russian guys when I play with them. Some of my favorite teammates. This could get ugly in New York. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and you mentioned it on here before, like maybe parting ways with a guy like one of the two right-handed shots in Panarin and Zibanejad, who you just named.
Yeah.
And then maybe paying Igor what he deserves, and maybe you're able to get a defenseman on the back half of that. Listen, we're not cap guys over here. We're not managers. We're guys on podcasts, hypothetically talking out scenarios. But it'll be interesting to see, Obi, what comes of this. And like you said, man, you made a great point. He is their most important piece on that chessboard.
I think if you were sitting with Chris Drury and Peter Laviolette and their front office, and if they could trade Zibanejad, I bet you Drury would pull the trigger. And listen, Zibanejad's a fucking weapon out there. The one-timer, from the Stamkos Ovechkin spot is lethal, and he's a great player. But I just think if you could get him off the books, opens up a little more space for Shesterkin. You bring in another, legit National League forward. Just having Zibanejad and Panarin, I just don't know if you need both of them, right? I'd rather have the bread man, obviously. But listen, we'll see how it plays out. Jay Swish, I could do this all day with you, buddy, but you got a big game to get to. Have fun, buddy. I can't wait to see your content. And most importantly, go hockey club and catch a buzz, fella. Catch a fucking buzz.
Tuesday night in Salt Lake City, like I said, Sauk City, Utah, Obi. Right now, I'm looking at it. It's such a go for one, stay for two, home by 3 kind of night. Wednesday morning, I got a bird at 8 a.m., so all locks early. So I might just roll it right over. We'll see on that when I talk to you Thursday. But, fella, with you, it's always tape to tape. It's always crispy rice. And a hell of a time, as always, baby.
Yeah, you're the man, Jay Swish. Enjoy the game. Thank you to All Pass Media, Kyle Conway, Max Pickup. Thank you, boys. That was Missin Curfew. Fella.